Hi everyone, this is Rich. We're going to do step 2 now of lab 1 for cis192. So I'm going to assume you've already downloaded the RDP file, which will get you to VLab. That's in another how-to. And let's use it now for step 2 of the lab. Here it is on my desktop over here. It says VLab 192. I'm going to double click it. I'm going to say connect. I'm going to log in as SimsBen login and see if I can remember this. I think I remembered it good. We'll see. If you have any trouble remembering your password, go ahead and contact me and I'll give you your password again if you need it, or show you how to determine it. Say yes to that. So we're going to go into, what we're doing is we're going into VLab, which is a VMware ESXi server on the Aptos campus of Cabrillo. And we're going to use the VMs on that server. Okay, we've got through the first login. Now we've got to log into the VM server 4 where our 192 VMs are kept. Okay, logging into that one. Let's say ignore. What we're going to do for this step is we're going to pick two VMs, one CentOS VM and one Ubuntu VM, and we're going to log in and become root on both of them. And then we're going to record the prompt strings in our lab01 file. Okay, so here we are. We made it into VM server 4 in the VLab. Let's take a look at the inventory here. Let's click the little plus and expand it. Let's pick a pod. Good, nobody's using pod 2. So Arwen, Celebrian, Elron, and Legolas, those are all CentOS VMs. Frodo and Sauron are Ubuntu VMs. William is a Windows XP VM. So let's pick, what should we pick? Let's pick Elron, okay? Let's power it on, click the little green triangle, and away it goes. And notice when a VM is turned on, you get the little green triangle on the little mini icon so you can see which VMs are in use. And I could look at the console by clicking the console tab, but what I'd rather do is look at it in a separate window. So this little icon here, this looks like a little CRT with a little green arrow, launch virtual machine console. I'm going to click that so I have a separate window for the console of that VM. So there's Elron. All right. Now we want to pick a Ubuntu VM. Let's pick Frodo. I like Frodo. And let's power it on. Okay. And now you'll see there's a little green triangle in front of Frodo. Let's peel off a console here for Frodo. All right. Let's position these guys. Takes the Ubuntu VM a little longer because it has a graphical user interface to power up, but it doesn't take that long. There it is. Can I fit it on the screen here? I can fit part of it on the screen. I have two monitors at home, but when I'm doing these recordings, I've got to fit everything onto just one of the monitors. So what we're going to do is on each one, we're going to log in and become root. So let's do the CentOS VM first. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to sign in as cis192. Give our password. Okay. And there we are. We're on Elron. See the prompt, the cis192 at Elron. Little tilde. Tilde means home directory. And right bracket, then $. So let's become root. SU minus. SU stands for super user, means or switch user actually. It actually could mean both, but we're going to use it here to switch user to become the root user. The dash is really important. When we change to root, we want root's environment. That means its path and all the other things that are associated with root's shell environment. So the dash will give us that. So SU minus, get prompted for root's password here. There we go. Now we're on we've become root on Elron. Look at the prompt now. It's root at Elron space tilde, all in brackets, followed by a pound sign now instead of a $. The pound sign indicates that you're root. When you're root, you can do anything, so you need to be careful. If you delete files, you'll delete them because root can do anything. Okay, so that little tilde in the prompt, that shows you which directory you're in. So if I do an ls here, let's cd to the slash directory. Notice how the tilde changed from tilde, which is your home directory, to slash. If I cd into home, notice how the slash now changes to home. So that's how that prompt works. Let's change back to our home directory. And we'll go over here to our Ubuntu VM Frodo and log in there. So I need to hit Control and Alt so I can get my mouse back and go over here and click on the Frodo VM. We're going to click on cis192 student, type in the password. Wait for that to come up here. Little hourglass spinning around. There we go. And what I'm going to do, and you can't quite see all of this on this, I'll just bring it up here so you can see the bottom and the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a terminal. Applications, accessories, terminal. Okay. I'm in a terminal, and what I want to do is I want to become root. On this little terminal session. So the way that we do this on Ubuntu is slightly different. We're going to use the sudo command. Use sudo su minus. So what's going to happen is on Ubuntu they make it a little bit harder to become root because they want this to be a desktop operating system. You could actually use the sudo command to change root's password to a password that you'd know. Then you could do the su minus just like we did on CentOS. But we're going to go ahead and do it the way the Ubuntu is set up. So sudo su minus, put in our password here. All right. Oh, mistyped it here. There we go. And what just came up down here, is that the updates? Now we're not going to do any updates. I want to keep these VMs as small as possible. So hide this, close that, and close this. Right now I have the VMs as small as possible, just so they come up quick and don't have a lot of extra stuff on them, so we don't have to take a lot of time for them to boot up and so forth. Now look at the prompt on Ubuntu. There's no square brackets around it, but the rest looks about the same. There's the name of the user at the short host name of the computer, which in this case is Frodo. And they're sticking in a colon, then they follow it by the tilde for home, and then the pound sign for you're logged in as root. So if we cd to /home, you can see how that little tilde changes into the current directory you're in. Let's change back. Now what we want to do is we want to record these two prompts in our lab01 file so we can record this for our session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up PuTTY here, and I'm going to vi lab01, And for step 2, we're going to record the 2 prompts. Let me just check that on the lab here. Record the prompt strings you're getting on CentOS and Ubuntu VMs in your lab01 file on Opus. Okay, I'm not going to do any fancy copy and paste from CentOS because, oh, I'll talk about that later. There's a way, but I'm just going to do it manually here. So on CentOS, I go into insert mode. DOS VM, we have root at lron space tilde right bracket pound sign. Okay, and our Ubuntu VM our prompt is, let's move this so we can see it, root at Frodo colon tilde prompt. Okay, let's save that. And we've completed step 2 of the lab. I gotta hit Control-Alt to get out of this. Now I should be able to move this to the side so I can get to my recorder and stop it.